of big police departments across the country use the police body cameras. Portland does not. In fact, it's the last big city department still not using them. We're going to talk about them more in a moment. But first, let's take a look at a nearby agency that appears to be a success story with these. Salem Police began wearing body cameras this week, on Monday, in fact. I talked with the chief, Trevor Womack, this afternoon.
It's going well. I think that I was actually pretty impressed for such a big technology system to be implemented. We were a little concerned about how that might go. Usually there's glitches and so forth, but I think the amount of preparation we put into this paid off because we've had really no issues.
Salem Police worked over the past 2 years to get the program in place and launched it Monday. Monday night, officers rushed to a shooting in Salem. 3 people shot. One of those died. The chief said those body cameras are already helping with that investigation.
Yes, that's one of the benefits of the camera system that I believed from the start. And you're correct, especially a scene like that where you arrive, there's multiple people shot, which is a chaotic situation. There's a lot of people, as officers are arriving, there's a lot of people still there, roaming around, leaving, coming. And so the difference there is that from the start, the time the officers arrive or begin to capture that video, you're seeing license plates and vehicles that might be leaving, people's faces. You don't know if these are victims or witnesses or suspects. And so that did prove valuable already. It's a tool for follow-up investigators especially, and we're using it in that way just for that case you mentioned.
So think about that for a moment. Think about all the information being lost by departments not using body cameras. Vancouver, by the way, is not using them, but they told us they're going to launch their program by the end of this month. Good for you. That leaves Portland. 8 years of discussions and still no body cameras. The fundamental hang-up is whether officers can view the footage before they write their reports. The cops want to do it, but the Federal Justice Department and the community activists say they should not. Now, Chief Womack did not want to comment on the Portland issue or any other department not using these cameras. In fact, he didn't want to get anywhere near that, so I hope that's clear. He's only talking to us about how it's going with his department. But he is quite clear in his thinking on the topic. Body cameras are a good tool. Allowing officers to view the video as they write their reports is common sense to him.
And I think about it this way, Pat. I started in 1992. We weren't even using email yet. And I remembered I was issued a little notepad with a pen, right? And every call I went to, I would take notes about everything that happened. And I'm observing and I'm talking to everybody. And then when I went back to the office, it might be that night or 2 days later when I had to write this report, I would pull out my notepad and I would review my notes because my memory is not perfect. I can't remember all those details. I would review my notes and I would write an accurate report based on those notes. This is Notepad 3.0, right? This is a technological way to capture what's happening and refresh an officer's memory to make sure the report is as thorough and as accurate as possible. Why wouldn't I want officers to have that information?
Okay, and just because you haven't specifically said it clearly, they are able to review that as they're writing the reports?
Yes, the only time that they're not going to be able to review that necessarily is for the big serious critical incidents, right? An officer-involved shooting, for example, a fatal use of force. We don't investigate ourselves, of course. We have a process here where an outside agency conducts that investigation. They would be in charge of that investigative process, and our district attorney as well. And their position is that officers would not view that video before that interview occurs, for example. But other than that, for the most part, officers can view the video, and I believe they should before they write a report or give a statement about something.
So there's that. But in Portland, the freeze on body cameras continues. In fact, it might even be getting a little bit colder. The police union and the city have been negotiating recently, trying to resolve their stalemate on the body cameras. But this week, they basically gave up and declared an impasse. Now it's going to go to an arbitrator, which could add 6 to 9 months on this ever-growing delay. And the Justice Department, by the way, has reserved the right to approve or reject anything that the arbitrator decides. It's been a long road.